What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuning in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go!
Welcome everybody. Welcome back to a jam-packed episode. We got another brand new one for you. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing all right, Rich. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I can't complain. Knicks are in the playoff hunt. Got NFL offseason. About to go crazy with these quarterbacks. It's a great time. We got a lot of brand new shows to get into today.
Yeah. There have been a lot of good shows on TV. Unfortunately, my Celtics aren't playing that well, but we'll get into that. Also, the news about Tiger Woods today isn't great. But on the the most important thing is that he's alive. Again, not a great day for the sports world, that's for sure. Watching someone like Tiger getting into an accident like that.
Yeah, it's a crazy accident. Hopefully everything's all right. I know he had some leg issues before. From based on what they're saying, it's pretty much just a bunch of leg injuries.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's nothing too crazy where he's not able to walk or anything like that. I wonder if he'll be able to come back and play.
Yeah, I mean, he depending on how bad it was, he may not play competitive golf again. Really tough. I mean, any sort of leg injury is tough to come back from. Never mind, if it's broken legs or fractures in your legs or what have you. We do know he is about as tough as they get and as resilient as they get. But it would just be good for him to walk out of that hospital. With just hopefully some minor leg injuries, and golf's probably the farthest thing from his mind right now.
But I mean, even if he doesn't, I mean, he's pretty much going to go down as one of the top golfers of all time. So
yeah. I mean, it's him and Jack for sure. We've been lucky to have to watch someone kind of change the game, open up the game for people who didn't have access to the game back in the late 90s. It's been, he's done incredible work. So if this is it, I'd say it's he's had a great career for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much had it good as far as sports. I mean, we got to see some of the greats, make their runs, from Tiger, Brady, Kobe, then we had Jordan as well, the Serena sisters, and now Naomi on the tennis side. So I mean, it's great to see. We had a great time to witness some sports.
Yeah, and I think watching, being able to watch each of them at their, greatest heights, I guess, is, it definitely, has lasting memories. I'll never forget early 2000 with Tiger, and pretty much every time he went to the golf course, he was expected to win, which is, looking back now is like kind of crazy. Like there's guys that, go years in between wins. There's, rarely do you see guys win multiple tournaments in a year. And he was reeling off like 8 or 10 wins a year, which is just like insane.
I mean, speaking of a time to have sports, I mean, I don't know if you've seen it. Cam Newton was going at it with one of his little kids at a camp. The kid was heckling him, pretty much saying he sucks. He's a free agent. Cam's response was, I'm rich. Pretty much was like, where's your dad? It sounds like he was trying to give the dad an earful, since he couldn't really go out the kid. How'd you feel about it?
I think it's part of the, it's kind of part of the game, right? I mean, if you want to be that celebrity type, playing in front of millions of people, I mean, you're going to get heckled by kids. I could barely hear, what the kid was saying, but it didn't sound like he was like using any cuss words or anything like that. So like, if you're getting heckled by, I forget how old he was, like 11 or 12, something like that. I don't know. To me, if you're an athlete, you kind of just got to smile and kind of like let that, go off your shoulder. Obviously, he didn't do that.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to ignore it. I mean, being being when it's something that you care about a lot.
Exactly, but he's like a kid, right? I mean, when I was a kid, he used to shout at random athletes all the time. I don't think they ever heard. I think there was actually one guy. Who was it? It was an old Mets player from like the early 2000s, and I was actually at Shea. I was in the left field bleacher or left field stands up the kind of the third baseline there before the game, and it was just like ripping into some guy on the Mets. I just joking, like they'll never and then he turned and looked at me, and I was like, oh, and my dad is right there. He's like, what are you doing? It's like, I don't know, just trying to get, you're trying to get a reaction out of a guy. You don't ever think that they'll actually turn and say something. So it is a little shocking when that happens, but I'd say I don't know, probably 99% of the time these guys just ignore it.
And for somebody to say you suck at it, I mean, your first reaction is pretty much to go at him, defend your craft. But I mean, the kid did make an apology.
Well, welcome to 2021, where a 12-year-old has to apologize for heckling Cam Newton. Give me a break.
But it seems like that it really wasn't his doing. It's more of the people behind it. I mean, being that it seemed like Cam Newton was at a camp. You kind of don't want to turn off other NFL players to some of these camps.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Because people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's the camp that Cam Newton got heckled at." I don't want to go to that camp. So it kind of stirring away those NFL players, to the youth. So I mean, that's probably why the apology was issued.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I there's probably a better way to handle it though. Probably pull them offline, right?
You realize what you did.
Yeah. I mean, it was probably, I would guess the parent was probably embarrassed having his kid out there. But, yeah, no, I think, I guess I didn't realize it was at Cam Newton's camp. So, yeah, I guess I would probably retract some of that because, I still don't think Cam Newton should have kind of, went back at the kid, but he probably should have pulled him off the side and say, hey, look, that's, not how you, behave. This is a camp. I'm coming here to help you, kind of show you some things, and you're heckling me. I guess that's a different situation.
Yeah, but his natural reaction is pretty much to go crazy. So. Yep.
No, I mean, these guys are human too, right? I mean, I know that they're on a big stage, but they're human too. So sometimes, yeah, something hits you a little deep. It's hard to just let it go.
Then we got the trade. The Colts pulled the trigger. They went out and got your boy Carson Wentz. I actually like this trade. I like it for the Colts. I mean, they really didn't give up much. They still got the first round pick and a second round pick this year. I mean, they gave up a third for this year and then a conditional second. That can change depending on how long he's with the roster. If he plays 75% of the snaps, so I think they just need a few more pieces. And they'll be good to go. I mean, he doesn't have to play, exceptionally well, but even if he puts up numbers like Phillip Rivers did, they'll be back in the playoff hunt and contending for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't know if they're a Super Bowl team. I have to see what Wentz looks like in Indy. Probably less pressure with the line. Although Anthony Costanzo retired, they have two Pro Bowl guards. But yeah, I think it's a great deal. I mean, it's a second round this year or third round this year, and then a second round next year that is probably going to be a number one if Carson Wentz basically plays the whole year and they make the playoffs, right?
Yeah, you got to pay 75% of snaps.
Yeah, so in that sense, I think it's kind of a good deal for both sides. Obviously, Indy needed a quarterback with Rivers retiring. Wentz is. I don't know. Basically, I would say it's a 1-year deal based on the cap and all that. I think if they want to dump him after this year, they can. And, he's going back with Frank Reich, who he seemed to, have familiarity with and liked.
Yeah, he played MVP type football, when he was on the right.
So, I think it's a good deal. And again, I don't think the Colts had to give up a ton, and I think there's more upside on Wentz. And if he stinks, then you sit him and you don't give up a first-round pick. But on the flip side, it's who else are you going to go to? You got Jacoby Brissett there. Something tells me that they're not in love with him.
No, yeah, I think he goes back to New England.
Yeah, yeah. But, they're probably going to have to look to draft a quarterback at some point, too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. But like I said, it gives them a 2 year window because this year, pretty much these quarterbacks are going pretty much right after the other in top, 6 or 7, 8 picks. And then next year is not really much quarterbacks, but the year after is going to be a better crop of quarterbacks for them to pick from.
Yeah, I think they're going to if you want a quarterback, you're going to have to trade up. I think you're right. I think they're going to go pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, but I mean, this gives them like 2 years to see if he's good or not because there's not really much quarterbacks coming out.
Right, right. But I'm just saying, if he stinks as bad as he was this year, if that's really how bad he is, they're going to need to draft someone ASAP.
And speaking picking quarterbacks, we got the NFL draft approaching soon. These mock drafts are coming out left and right. You think you're just gonna pull it off and get Deshaun? I mean, Deshaun's listed the 3 teams that he wants to go to. So
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're saying, Dolphins, Panthers, Jets. I'd say the Jets and Dolphins probably have the most to give up. I think it'll really depend on, what Houston wants. If they want volume of picks, I think the Jets over time can probably do better than the Dolphins. But I think the Jets have 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years. Something like that, 2-3 years. They have quite a few first round picks coming up here. So do the Dolphins. The Dolphins have 2 this year. I actually think that's it, and then they have just their regular pick. But
yeah, I don't know if the Dolphins really want to get into it.
yeah, I mean, I think there's a chance. I do think that should be their number one kind of plan of attack. The number one goal is to try to get Watson. Again, I know we've talked about it on here before. He's young. He's under contract. And he was, top 5 passer in the league last year. So silly not to try in my mind. But then if that's not the route they want to go, then I think it's a little bit of a toss up. I think they could go either way. I think they could keep Darnold, trade back. There's going to be, I think, probably a handful of teams that want to trade up into that 2 spot, so they may be able to get a good package for someone who's looking to draft, say, Zach Wilson or something like that.
But I also feel like you guys really are liking Zach Wilson as a second option if you can't get Watson.
No, I think they like him. I just think I don't know how much more they like him than they like Darnold. So that's really what it boils down to. And if they can get a high second or a late first for Darnold, I think they probably would move him.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But yeah, I think that's going to be the question, and I don't see them going any other route there, right? So I think it's either going to be that pick's going to Houston for Watson in a package. They trade Darnold for something and then draft Zach Wilson, or they trade the pick back, keep Darnold, and see what they can get for a package for someone looking to trade up.
Oh yeah, they got options.
But it's I'm trying to keep up, with
all these mock drafts,
the beat writers. It seems like the Jets are playing this one close to the vest, which is unlike them. So I kind of like that, rather than telling everyone what they want to do and then not maximizing their value. But yeah, it's obviously, the fan of me wants to know everything right now, but definitely understand there's a process they got to go through.
Oh yeah, I think the fan in us actually wants us to fast forward to the draft, so we can see all these picks go down and free agency. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the Giants do as well. I mean, we got 11. I mean, pretty much we're looking to get one of these offensive weapons. If it's not Pitts or Smith, hopefully one of them falls to us. But it's gonna be interesting to see. On the defensive side, I'd like to see him go in the draft. Well, not in the draft, in free agency. Try to pick up one of these pass rushers or get another top corner to pair up with Bradbury. I mean, our defense was solid last year, but we were just missing those pass rushers. But at the end of the day, it's pretty much going to come down to a quarterback. If Danny Dimes can't be consistent, then I mean, it's pretty much going to be a wash.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you need a pass catcher down there. If not, where else would they be looking to improve?
And then on to the NBA. You got NBA All-Star Day. Looks like they're trying to do an All-Star Day and not the weekend. Looks like they're pretty much planning out to do. They're gonna have LeBron and KD be the captains, and then they're gonna have the game or the All-Star game, and then the halftime show is going to be the 3-point contest and the dunk contest. Doesn't look like they're doing the skills challenge.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings about this. It'll be kind of cool to watch, but also it's I think it's highly hypocritical of the NBA to put something like this together in an obvious money grab type situation, right? I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean, it definitely is, but I think it's better as far as a better money grab because I mean they're not extending it out to 3 days, and it's just one day.
yeah, no, I get that. I just think flying all these guys in for one day and then flying them out. I don't know. It's they seem like they've been trying to cut down on certain travel and things like this, and they put something like this together, which I'll obviously watch and enjoy, but I got to imagine some of the players aren't too happy about it still. I know that LeBron was pretty outspoken about it, but then you got guys like Jaylen Brown who said that he would love to play. So I think it depends on the person.
Your boy Hayward's about to be an All-Star, man. I know you guys wish you had him and Rozier back.
Between him and Rozier down in there, I don't think Charlotte is still a great team by any means, but the 2X Celtics are definitely playing well.
Oh yeah, definitely is.
I don't necessarily wish we had Hayward back. It would be nice to have him. Obviously, they're struggling finding that third scorer. With hot and Kemba's been a little hot and cold, but it would definitely be nice to have that option. But if you had a guy like Rozier that could come in as your six man, that would be looking pretty good right now. That's for sure. Or even starting at point guard.
Oh yeah.
But it's early. They've had a good spurt. Let's see what they can do in the long run. Breaking news here. We got the NBA All-Star reserve from Shams. So in the East, we got Harden, Julius Randle, your boy.
It's been a long time.
Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Zach LaVine, Ben Simmons, and Nikola Vucevic. And then in the West, they CP3, Playoff P, who's actually had put together a pretty good stretch here, if I'm being honest.
Oh yeah, he's been playing good. The past few weeks.
Dame, Spider, Rudy Gobert, Zion, and Anthony Davis.
Surprised Anthony made it with the injury. Yeah, it's good to see new people make the All-Star team, but everyone's definitely deserving this year.
Seems like a pretty solid list. I'm sure we'll get the who was snubbed late, in the next 20 minutes from everybody. But I think it's good to see Randall and Tatum and Brown on there, and Zion, Paul George on the other side. I think are solid.
Yeah, I think for the older vets, they're probably going to sit back and let the rookies, or the young bucks take over, like Zion. But I think LeBron's going to be complain about it, but when it's time to go, he's going to go. So he's going to be pretty much all into it.
He does. He'll bitch and moan the whole the week leading up to it. After the game, he'll bitch, and then.
Yeah, but I think LeBron's going to complain. About the game, but he's gonna still show out. No matter what the NBA decides.
I think you're right. I think he'll be really good and play hard like he always does, which is even a little more frustrating to me because it's like you're gonna play, and I know you have to kind of speak your mind, but sometimes it's nice to just go out and play.
Then we had the dunk heard around the world again. Your boy Anthony Edwards caught another body. I mean, I don't even know who he dunked on. There wasn't even focus on it. Just
that was a dunk, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it definitely was. I mean, where do you think this ranks up in as far as some of the greatest dunks of all time, in-game dunks? You think this racks up with the Vince Carter ones, or
Oh, my favorite starter dunk is the one over against the French national team. That was when we got like Bizarro Vince Carter, where he like took over and was aggressive and nasty, which isn't how he played in the NBA. But yeah, that dunk over I forget that guy's name now. Weiss, was it Frederick Weiss? That was, I mean, just incredible.
yeah, he's probably one of the best in-game dunkers of all time. Even if you look at the top, 10, he's probably got five of the top 10. But what's one of your favorite dunks of all time?
Favorite dunk of all time. I don't know, that John Starks one when he went baseline on Jordan, that one was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, that's a classic one. But Jordan made us pay for that. Later on.
Trying, yeah, Jordan had one against Bird too. It was kind of similar back in the '80s.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean the Shaq pulling down the backboard. I'm just trying to think of when I think of dunks. What do I think of? Not dunk contest dunks, but in-game dunks.
What about the DeAndre Jordan over Brandon Knight one? The one where Chris Paul threw him the alley.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I think that Vince Carter on Frederick Weiss is still like, he was just so big and he just jumped right over top of him.
Oh yeah, Vince Carter has one of the best, let alone one of the best set of dunks for a dunk contest as well. So
Yep. Oh, I mean that 2000 dunk contest is like my favorite dunk contest of all time. Like the dunks that he did in that were unbelievable. That 360 from underneath the baseline was wild.
yeah, those are classics.
Yeah, just unreal.
And then we had the Nets. I mean, they pretty much they beat the Clippers and the Lakers these past few games. Without Durant, they're like a game back from Philly for best record in the East. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. It looks like this team. It looks like nobody's gonna beat this team, man. I don't know, man. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely, if they can figure out how to keep everyone happy over there, they're gonna be tough to beat. I don't see them not being in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna be a tough out. I mean, if you think about it, Durant and Kyrie is pretty much 60, 70 point, scoring duo per game, and then let alone, I mean, you got James Harden, but I mean, James Harden doesn't even have to be, James Harden. They're pretty much gonna be hard to stop.
James Harden has played the role nicely. He's come in. He's been quiet. He's just played ball. So as long as Kyrie keeps his head on straight, Durant, I'm sure will be fine. Not worried about him. But yeah, they're gonna be a tough team. They just score so many points. It's gonna be hard.
And the great thing about it, I mean, for James Harden, doesn't even have all that pressure because he got those guys scoring. Even if he shows up with his triple doubles or a double double, get him a little 15 assists, 18 points. I mean, they're pretty much going to be golden, with their shooters. All they got to do is figure it out defensively.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I still think they need to, kind of do it in the playoffs, but, something Harden hasn't been able to do yet. But, I think that it's right for the taking for them for sure.
And then we got your Celtics, man. Let's get to it, man. It's going to be all right. But how you feeling about them, man? They've been they blew a huge lead the other day. What do you need to do to turn it around?
Not great. They just, for some reason, they don't play well against bad competition, and I can't figure out why. They've played well against good teams. I think they have one of the best records in the league against teams above 500.
Mm-hmm.
But losing games to Detroit, Atlanta, New Orleans, like. They just, especially New Orleans the other night, they were up 24 with 6 minutes to go in the third. Like, you can't lose those games. So that's been a little disappointing. They're having trouble closing games out. And they're having trouble finding, a consistent third scorer. You got Jalen and Jason that can score. I think they've been kind of dishing the ball a little bit more as of late. They'd probably be in,
Oh yeah.
Aaron Nesmith has gotten some more time. He's brought some energy, but so yeah, I think that they're probably looking for someone to trade for, but I don't know what's out there. And I know you're a big, you think Drummond would fit on their team. I don't want anything to do with that guy. Nor do I want anything to do with Cousins would be okay, but I don't know what he brings you at this point. He's probably not what they need. Anything that they would need, no one's giving up. So, I don't necessarily think they need having a Bradley Beal would be nice, but I don't think that's feasible or like it's not necessary. I think they need someone in that third scorer that can lead the team in scoring in a night, right? That can take over a game, and they don't have that right now. At least not with the way Kemba's playing. Too inconsistent.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to benefit from getting one of these free agents, either Drummond or Cousins. I think you guys are going to need a big to go against Embiid, and then possibly slow down one of these teams of Brooklyn or something. If you see him in the playoffs, if it gets to that.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
Yeah, but I feel like you guys are going to bounce back after the the All-Star break. Get your legs back under you, and then things will pick back up. And then let alone if you also guys get one of these guys.
I don't know. I don't love Drummond's game that much. I feel like you have Robert Williams there, who can kind of play a similar type role. Cousins is probably a little bit more interesting because he can shoot from the outside a little bit, but and he brings toughness, obviously, which they could definitely use. But other than that, I don't know. I'm not sure where they go.
But as long as it's not Blake Griffin.
Yeah, I don't want anything. I do like Blake, but I don't want anything to do with Blake on my team. Yeah, it will be interesting to see kind of where everyone moves around to. Blake's an interesting one because I wonder what he can bring, a contending team or something like that. If he can, I know in Detroit he's kind of turned back into this, he's turned into like a 3-point shooter. So it'd be interesting to see if he can kind of go back to his game of getting down low and scoring in the paint and grabbing boards and stuff like that.
Yeah, unless you guys get the old Blake, but Blake really flourished, in that pick and roll, situation, with him and Chris Paul. I wonder if that's something him and Kemba can develop, or possibly Tatum. Maybe put Tatum in that spot with him.
Yeah, I think Kemba's a good. He's actually pretty good at the pick and roll, but he likes to kind of keep the ball with him on that. So it'd be interesting to see that. Yeah, if they got someone in there like Griffin, if he would, be more of a disher there.
Oh yeah, the other thing in the NBA, Timberwolves, they fired their coach and hired the new coach the same day.
So it was weird because I was kind of going back through my feed, like I usually do in the morning, just kind of scroll through and see what happened, overnight or West Coast games, whatever. And it was like, it was from Woj. It was like, Ryan Saunders got fired. They'll name an interim coach here soon, but don't expect anything crazy. And then 20 minutes later, they hired the guy from Toronto. I just thought it was kind of weird.
I feel like in order to do that, you'd have been talking to him, weeks prior, interviewing him, find out what's going on.
Yeah, I would agree. It seems kind of odd that they would just kind of have a guy ready to go. Right.
But, the Timberwolves, they're in a position. Looks like they're going to give Golden State another top 5 pick again.
Do they have Golden State's pick again? Or does Golden State have their pick again?
Yeah, that's the top 3. I think it's top 3 protected. But
protected? Oh, okay.
But, the way these NBA lotteries have been going, you could have the worst record and end up with the 4th pick, a.k.a. the Knicks.
still lamenting Zion Williamson.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only Zion. I mean, this should have been Knicks team is looking pretty epic right now. We probably would have been like 3-4 championships deep, but the basketball guys haven't blessed us yet. So, but I mean, we've been playing good. This year. Hopefully we can maintain the playoff position, spot, and make the playoffs. And then see where we go from there for next season. And possibly win a game or two, and then see where we go from there.
Oh, what about the rumors around Kristaps Porzingis that Dallas wants to move him? Did you hear any of this?
Oh no, I haven't heard any of this. No, I haven't heard any of this. This is crazy.
Yeah, so they apparently they're looking. They want to try to move him because his defense is so bad that they can't they basically don't want to pay him $29 million a year to be in part of the time and playing offense and being a liability on defense.
I mean, that's very interesting. I mean, just the fact. I mean, you look around the league. There's not really many players I can see him getting traded for.
It would be extremely difficult because matching salaries on guys like that, and anyone who's getting paid that much money right now is probably someone who that team wants to keep. So, yeah, that'd be a tough one for sure.
And then when you think about it, like I can't really see him. I can't see anybody trading for him.
I don't think there is anyone. Outside of the Bradley Beal rumors, I don't know. That's probably it.
I mean, even let's say you traded him for Bradley Beal, does that make the team that much better, or is it pretty much the same?
No, I don't think so. So you'd have to get a big guy who can score and try to match salaries, which would be difficult.
Yeah, then I mean, this also justifies, if he were to get traded, justifies the Knicks trading him. Based off what's going on in Dallas, if this is true. On to the new shows, that we're watching. Tell me about the show. You guys are watching this. Oh no. So what do you got for us this week for JD's Bites and Brews, man?
All right, so this week we got again still on the healthy kick here. We got a quinoa and black bean burger. We're going to put a little chipotle mayonnaise on that, homemade. Probably toss a little mozzarella cheese on top, some grilled onions, avocado, and I'm going to pair that with a cucumber, onion, and tomato salad.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
So trying to, stick as much as we can on the healthy stuff.
So is this like all homemade, or is this like prepackaged?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All homemade.
So like, does it taste like a burger, or is it like?
Awesome. No, I don't think so. No, it doesn't taste like a burger. It's not. It's good. Got a lot of flavor. I try to do it a little spicy. But no, it doesn't taste like a burger.
Okay, that sounds good.
But it's fairly healthy and the flavor is good. So it doesn't really matter to me on that end.
Now, is this something like you guys eat with like ketchup, barbecue sauce, or just you eat it straight up?
So this one would probably do with chipotle mayonnaise, but you can do it with barbecue sauce or something like that. You can do ketchup if you want, I guess. It doesn't actually really need a sauce if you don't want, but probably some mayonnaise or something like that on it.
And what are you guys drinking that with?
Had this the other night. It won't be with this meal, but I thought it was worth reviewing tonight. It's a beer. It was a collaboration between two breweries, one out of Maryland, RAR. They're in Cambridge, Maryland, and then Definitive Brewing out of Portland. So I had to go pick it up in Maine a couple weeks ago. But God, I can't.
Okay.
It's a cotton candy sour. I was just looking for the name of it, but it's a raspberry cotton candy, and it literally tastes like you're eating cotton candy. So it's a little sweet. Probably one glass is enough. But man, it was delicious. So a little sour, but really good.
Do you guys eat that with like fries, sweet potato fries, or is it a healthy option, or?
So sometimes, yeah, we'll do that. This time it's just going to be cucumber tomato salad.
What about the zucchini fries?
We did those a while ago. We did that. We've done like the carrot fries, which those are really good actually.
I actually like the avocado fries. Last time I had those were pretty good.
Yeah, those are good. But now this time we'll just keep it to the salad.
And then on to the new shows. I know there was a new show you guys watched. What was it called? Behind Her Eyes. Tell us about that. How was it?
Behind Her Eyes. And so it starts off a little slow for me, but over the last couple episodes, it's gotten pretty good. You start kind of, there's just a lot of like, kind of like story building without getting any of the backstory. So now that you're starting to see more of the backstory and starting to understand the main characters, it's gotten pretty good. Definitely worth watching.
Oh, nice. How many episodes is that?
Check. I'm not sure how many episodes. I think we're on episode 5.
Okay.
I think it was 8 or 10. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's worth watching. The it's basically like 3 main characters, and they're all really good actors. It's a based in, I think it's a British drama. But yeah, so far so good.
Well, that sounds great. I'm definitely added to the list. I mean, for me, I just finished up a show called Tell Me Your Secrets. It's a new show on Amazon Prime. It's about a lady that she was dating a serial killer, and then it follows her after her release from prison. Obviously she went to prison because they thought she had something to do with the crime. But as you watch the show, you're gonna figure out how much involvement she had in it. But she's kind of in protective custody. After she gets out of jail, but she's in like this weird town where a lot of shit is going on. And then not to mention she's going through her own stuff with all these like flashbacks she has throughout the season, revealing her past and stuff like that. But it was a great show to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the same producers of I think Sinner and The Undoing. The great thing about it is like how The Undoing was, where it was started off great, but then when it got to the season finale, you were like, oh man, what? That's it. This one, when you get to the season finale, it gives a lot. It opens up a lot of doors, reveals a lot about all the different characters. It kind of leaves you sitting like, man, I can't wait to start season 2, but we gotta wait another year for that, to come back. But it was great, man. I mean, if I had to rate it, I'll probably give it like an 8, a solid 8 out of 10. It was great, man. Yeah, 10 episodes.
Oh, nice. I'll have to put that on the list next. How many episodes?
Was it like 8 or 10? 8 or 10 episodes?
I'm in.
Netflix has a new documentary coming out, by the way. Forgot to tell you. It's called Operation Varsity Blues. It's about the college scandal.
Which one?
The college admission ones. The one with the lady from Full House.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's coming out March 17th. So that gives us something to look forward to for the next documentary.
Interesting.
And then we got the new trailers dropped out for Mortal Kombat and Godzilla. I know we were excited about the Mortal Kombat one. Looks good. Characters look good. I mean, from everybody we've seen, the only one I think people complained about was Reptile, because he actually looks like a reptile. But
yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough too, right? Because you're also basing these characters off in like a 1988 game, so things have changed over time.
I mean, everybody looks good, man. I can't really complain. Jax looks great. His arms. But they might be a little bit off from Liu Kang and the other guy. I forgot his name. Not Raiden. The guy with the hat, the one that throws it. I forget his name. He was only in the he was in the original. He came in Mortal Kombat 3, I think.
Oh, I can't remember his name. I know who you're talking about. Kun Lao? Is that who you're talking about? Yeah. Yeah, it's April 21st.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, everybody looks good. I mean, looking forward to seeing it. I know it comes out in April.
Oh, sorry, April 16th. April 16th.
Okay, yeah. So it's gonna be a month after Godzilla. So I mean, we got some more stuff to watch. And then even for Godzilla, man, I heard some stuff. I'm not gonna get into it, but
Hold back, Rich. Hold back.
heard some revealing stuff about the movie, man. But it's good stuff though. But I ain't gonna spoil it for you. But it's gonna be good, man. I even like the last ones they did. The King Kong and Godzilla. So I mean, this one should be great. We can hopefully see more fighting. So
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that. That's gonna be a fun one to watch for sure.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out with your boy Rich, JD, and Tom here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.